Well, good evening and welcome to another exciting episode of Love Not Fear. I'm Jack Cox, author of Love Not Fear, and I'm joined by my gorgeous co-host, Annie Day, who's written two scrumptious books.
Orgasmic Health and Your Guide to Feeling Fabulous Fast. And
we're also joined by Chrissy Chataway and Andrew, whatever his name is, Paul. I don't know, go lose track of all your names, Andrew. Oh, Andrew's written a wonderful book about love. Speak, Andrew, so it gets recorded.
All you need is love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. Love is all you need.
Well done, Andrew. Oh, Nikki entered the waiting room. Nikki.
Yes.
And we're still waiting for Chrissy's book to come out.
I made a start. I've made a start.
I've
done half a page. Hello, Nikki.
Hello, Nikki, and welcome to our show.
You see me?
You can unmute if you want.
Hi.
Yeah, good to have you here.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Right, we just started recording,
Nikki.
so let's crack on with it. For those who are new here, we record the show tonight and it goes live to Facebook tomorrow. Not Facebook, YouTube tomorrow, where it stays for eternity.
Indeedy.
So whatever fools you make of yourselves tonight will be saved for posterity.
Or however magnificent you are will be saved for prosperity as well, Jack Cox.
That's what I like to hear any day. That's what I like to hear. Hold that thought.
Indeedy.
Well, as usual, I've written a short introduction, which will go on far too long.
Not necessarily.
And then Annie will chip in with her expert knowledge on the subject.
Thank you, my darling.
Annie being a professional therapist.
Indeedy.
Who runs a brilliant clinic called Heaven Sent Bliss.
Thank you.
So let's talk about essential oils. What are they and how do we use them? Let's take a look at the health benefits of essential oils and how to really distinguish between the different brands. Scents, like everything else in the world, are made of molecules. Different molecules have different scents. When you inhale the scent of a rose, you're actually inhaling molecules of the rose that it releases into the air. These molecules travel up your nose and get stuck to your olfactory membrane, which contains highly specialized nerve endings called olfactory receptors.
Indeed.
Once these nerves recognize a particular scent molecule, they send a signal to the olfactory bulb, which signals your cortex and limbic system, which is why it works so fast.
Yeah.
We all know smells can have a huge effect, can't they?
Massively.
Yeah, one smell, and within seconds you're remembering something from years ago.
Absolutely.
I remember when I was, I don't know, I was about 10, I suppose. I was standing back in the days of steam trains. Yes, I'm that old, yeah. Standing on Portsmouth Harbour Station with my parents going up to London. And years later, I must have been in my 50s, I went to one of these steam rallies, and just the scent of the steam sent me straight back to standing on that platform on that station all those years ago.
I've got a story as well about my beautiful limbic system. So every time I smell cinnamon, I'm back in my grandma's kitchen. I'm a four-year-old little girl. I'm baking apple pies. The birds are singing, the sun's shining. And every time I get that waft of cinnamon, that's what happens. My limbic system goes, oh, do you remember that? One of the first times when you smelt that lovely pungent cinnamon fragrance. So yeah, it really does. It gets locked into our limbic system. The downside of our limbic system is if you've ever been drunk and vomited,
Just you to mention that, Annie.
Well, I'm just saying it as it is. You know, there are some beautiful experiences that are locked into our limbic system, but equally there will be some. So going back many moons ago, I was a teenager and I got very drunk on Purno and blackcurrant. And now, just the smell of Purno, I'm like, it all comes flooding back in again.
I hope not. Anyways, you probably know that different hormones and different neurochemicals create different reactions in the body. Aromatherapy oils really do affect the body in comprehensive, holistic ways. Your emotions, hormones, and healing responses are all influenced for the better. Not all for the worse, but hopefully for the better. Plants have been our medicine since forever. Indeed, most of the world's medicines are still based on plants. Essential oils are used for aesthetic reasons, for relaxation, for health, and other legitimate uses. But most people don't really know what they are. Essential oils are concentrated botanical substances. And I mean really concentrated.
Yeah.
There's about 100 times more concentration than in the actual plants that they come from. It takes 2 to 3 tons of rose petals to make a kilogram of rose essential oil. That's why it's such an expensive oil. So if you're getting a bargain, you're probably not getting the real thing, because it can't be produced cheaply.
No.
Those rose petals are collected before dawn, usually, by people picking one rose at a time by hand. And it takes 2 to 3 tons to make a kilogram of oil. How can you do that cheaply?
Can't.
Most of what happens when those rose petals are distilled becomes a hydrosol, and that's rose water.
Yeah. Which is not the same as an essential oil.
Which is not the same as an essential oil.
Yeah.
Are essential oils further distilled from the rose water? Do you know any?
They're either cold pressed or they're distilled, aren't they? Essential oils. That's why they're so concentrated, because it's literally the essence of either the tree, you know, things like cedarwood, sandalwood, cypress, frankincense, all come from trees. And then many of the others come from the flowers. But equally, you can have, you know, things like sage, you can have things like black pepper and ginger, which aren't flowery fragrances at all.
By the way, for the benefit of those who are new to the show, feel free to chip in at any time. It's all very informal here.
I'll say something, Jack.
Yeah, surely, yeah.
Nikki, right, it won't let her launch the Zoom. What is the ID, please? I've just got a message, see.
Nikki's here. Nikki's here.
She just got back. Have you just got back, Nikki?
Nikki's here.
Oh, I'm in. That was an earlier message. I'm in.
Yeah, she's in. Yeah.
That's okay. Okay.
Okay.
I was thinking there must be 2 Nickis then.
It's always fun, this show. Right. Essential oils are obtained primarily through distillation and a process called expression, a bit like when you grate a lemon. Essential oils are found in all parts of the plants, although not all plants produce essential oils.
Yeah.
The primary metabolism of a plant is called photosynthesis, as we all know. But plants also have secondary pathways of and essential oils are produced by one of those secondary metabolic pathways. We only know about 3,000 plants, probably about, 1% of the plants on the face of the earth which produce essential oils.
Yeah.
But there could be more. There could be more. We're learning all the time.
We sure are.
And we can learn a lot by looking at how plants produce essential oils and why they produce them. A plant might produce an essential oil to prevent a threat of infection, bacterial, fungal, or viral infection, or conversely to attract pollinators.
Oh, indeed.
Sometimes plants produce essential oils in order to keep other things away. They may produce a poison to keep animals from eating the leaves,
Yeah.
or to create a zone of inhibition around themselves where other plants can't grow. So that gives us,
wouldn't it?
yeah, so that gives us our first clue that essential oils can have adverse as well as therapeutic effects. So you need to know what you're doing.
You do.
So let's see essential oils within a continuum of plant products. We have spices and herbs and extracts or tinctures. We have flower essences and homeopathic remedies that actually contain no molecules of the substance at all. Essential oils are kind of in the middle there somewhere. Historically, essential oils have been used for a long time. The earliest distillation apparatus has been estimated to be about 5,000 years old. They've been used all over the world. In Egypt, they're used in traditional Chinese medicine, in Ayurvedic medicine. The use of essential oils in the West was revived and taken away from the, as an addition to the perfume industry and the cosmetic industries in the 1900s, the early 1900s.
Yeah.
There was a Frenchman, probably get his name, pronounce his name wrong because I can't, not very good at French. Frenchman named René Geoff, something like that, anyway. Who burnt his hand in a laboratory explosion in 1928.
And plunged his hand into a vat of lavender.
Yes, he did.
And discovered that there were no blisters at all on the bit that went into the barrel of lavender oil.
That's right, yes, and his hand healed entirely.
Which encouraged him to investigate lots of other oils as well as a result of that. Because he was really surprised at the fact that it was only where his shoulder wasn't underneath the lavender oil that the blisters had occurred, whereas the rest of it was absolutely fine. So that encouraged him to look at the properties of lots of other oils as well.
Brilliant guy. He actually coined the term aromatherapy.
Yes, indeed. Clever man.
And he spent the rest of his life trying to promote the use of essential oils for healthcare purposes.
Yeah.
Essential oils are very complex. Each one is composed of anywhere from 100 to 300 separate chemicals. This makes them harder to understand than a single synthetic chemical that is produced in a laboratory and is exactly the same every single time.
Yeah.
Essential oils are natural. They come from plants. They're part of the natural world. Complexity and interrelationships are inherent in all natural products and substances.
Yeah, of course.
And of course, the chemistry of a plant depends on how the plant lived and how it died. So they're not all the same.
No, and I think it makes a really big difference if they're organically grown as well. Like we know our veg is better organically grown. All our foodstuffs are better organic. But certainly essential oils, I'm still a Neil's Yard girl. And essential oils that are organic make such a big difference.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's one of the most important things.
Yeah, me too. You don't want glycophosphates on
No,
something
you don't.
that's something that's going to go on your skin, really, do you? So
yeah, I mean, for instance, lavender, for instance, it grows differently depending on the altitude at which it grows.
Yeah.
If there's a year without much rainfall, it's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
From a wet year.
Yeah.
And all those things affect the chemistry of the essential oil.
Yeah. And our biggest crop of lavender essential oil is grown in Norfolk. And actually, I think, you know, that there's a big difference between French lavender and English lavender.
Yeah,
you know, you can still tell it's lavender clearly, but I think there's something really beautiful about the English lavender. Maybe it's because I'm an English girl. I don't know, but I know that when I went to Norfolk lavender, I could have lain in that field and just got high on the lavender fragrance, really.
I know you can get high on anything.
That cops, you're telling me all my secrets now. Shrooms, cannabis.
Not all oils on the market are pure and authentic, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And you really need to do a gas chromotherapy mass spectrometry reading to know the chemistry of any particular oil. And also, we hear a lot about therapeutic grade oils, but this isn't a recognized standard. It's just a grading system employed by the company.
Yeah.
And it may vary widely from one brand to another.
Yeah.
So you can either believe them or choose not to believe them.
Yeah.
Essential oils can be adulterated, and they can be contaminated with metals and plastics and solvents. Nevertheless, there are many, many good companies out here. So go with a well-respected brand,
Yeah.
even if they charge a little bit more.
Yeah. It'll be worth it.
Essential oils do need to be handled properly as well. So when you buy that little bottle, you want to store it properly. I recommend that people keep them in the refrigerator. If you do that, you can keep them for a year or maybe 2. If you're not using them very often, keep them tightly closed, keep the bottles tightly closed, because they oxidize when they're exposed to air, heat, or light.
And most good quality aromatherapy oils are in either dark brown bottles or they're in blue bottles because sunlight decays them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's why they do it. Yeah. And once they oxidize, they're more likely to cause sensitivities or even irritation. It's recommended for beginners to start with just a few and really get to know them. And probably pick one brand that's highly recommended and stick with that brand.
Yeah.
Each essential oil has many different uses. No matter what you're going through in your life, whether it's emotional or physical or energetic, spiritual thing, there's probably an oil to help you with that.
Oh, for sure. For absolute sure.
What I love most about essential oils is that they're a tool to instantly shift your vibration into a higher state of being.
Yeah.
They allow you to fully be in the present moment and energetically heal yourself, physically heal, and emotionally heal, to become the best version of you that you can be.
Yeah.
So how do we apply essential oils? Well, there's lots of different methods. A lot of people use a diffuser. Diffusing can help boost your mood, help you feel more energized, reduce worry, help you sleep, lets you focus, helps you unwind.
And clear infections, particularly if you put tea tree oil in your oil burner, because it's antiseptic, antiviral, antibiotic, but it also stimulates your immune system as well. So tea tree is one of the, there's only 2 oils you can use neat on your skin. One is lavender and one is tea tree. So and again, you can put tea tree in your mouth as well. It's not contraindicated if you've got a mouth ulcer or gum infection or anything like that. then you can actually, doesn't taste good, I'm not going to lie to you. Melaleuca anternifolia, it has many qualities, but taste is not one of them. So you could make yourself a mouthwash out of it. So yeah, tea tree is amazing, amazing.
Yeah. I think it depends very much on the brand, what you can take internally and what you can't. It depends very much on the brand.
Well, I've already recommended Neil's Yard.
Yeah.
Organic.
Yeah. Okay. We'll probably talk about several different brands, but what I don't want to do, Annie, is hog this whole show.
Okay.
We've got 4 people on, and I know Nikki wants us to speak a bit later on. So I'm going to hand over to you, Annie. Let you do your bit. I'm only about halfway through my bit, but let's hand over to you, and you can do your bit, and then maybe I'll come back with a bit more later on.
Okay.
Oh, is Nikki gone?
Yeah.
I can't see.
Yes, he's gone.
Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame.
Okay, so the ancient art of aromatherapy has been with us for at least 20,000 years, according to cave paintings in France and hieroglyphics in Egypt. Since these early times, essential oils have continued to be utilized in natural medicine by many civilizations, also including the ancient Greeks and Romans. So what is aromatherapy? I'm recapping a little bit on some of what Jack said already. Aromatherapy is the ancient practice of using essential oils to promote health and well-being. Whether you want to feel special, re-energized, relaxed, or wish to improve your overall well-being, essential oils can provide that key. Essential oils are substances extracted from various parts of the plant, often by distillation. They are sometimes referred to as the life force of the plant. They are neither greasy nor fatty and are readily absorbed into the bloodstream. Each oil is highly concentrated, so only adding a few drops are needed to be effective. So how is it used? The pure essential oils are blended together to reflect the needs of the individual patient in aromatherapy massage. These are then applied during the massage treatment, which is deeply relaxing, effective, and suitable for all ages. As well as being used to treat specific ailments, the smell of essential oils can affect your mental health. This is because there are receptors in the nasal passages that trace directly to the emotional center of the brain, as Jack's already described, a beautiful limbic system. Essential oils are compound extracted from plants. The oils capture the plant's scent, flavor, or essence. Unique aromatic compounds give each essential oil its characteristic essence. Essential oils are obtained through distillation via steam and/or water, and also by cold pressing. Once the aromatic compounds have been extracted, they are combined with a carrier oil to create a product that's ready for use in aromatherapy massage. So how do essential oils work? Essential oils are most commonly used in the practice of aromatherapy, in which they are inhaled through various methods. Essential oils are not usually meant to be swallowed. The chemicals in essential oils can interact with the body in several ways. When applied to your skin, some plant chemicals are absorbed. It's thought that certain application methods can improve this absorption, such as applying it with heat or to different areas of the body. But also, I think, again, as we said earlier, it's really important that the carrier oil your aromatherapist is using is an organic one as well, because again, within 4 minutes, that carrier oil or essential oil will be in your liver. So you want to make sure that it doesn't have any nasties in there.
Absolutely, yeah, that's very important.
Inhaling the aromas from essential oils can stimulate areas of your limbic system, which is a part of your brain that plays a role in emotional, behavioral sense of smell, and you can lock experiences into your long-term memory, as we've already described. This means that the olfactory system, when we inhale fragrances, goes into the nasal cavity, right up into our beautiful limbic system. Interestingly, the limbic system is heavily involved in forming memories, even from our childhood, as you just said. I was going to talk about what cinnamon does to me, but I've already explained to you while you were doing yours. There are other ways other than using aromatherapy massage. Again, I would make sure that you've got somebody that is qualified and knows what they're doing, because I've heard of people in the past where, for instance, their husbands decided that he's seen to the James Bond films, doing Swedish massage, and caused quite a lot of damage. So you really want to go to a real live aromatherapist for that not to happen. So as well as massage,
one like Annie.
One like me, in fact, indeed. So another way of using essential oils is in your bath. Simply run your bath to the right height and temperature, and then add only 2 to 3 drops, as this will help you by using only subtle aromatherapy. So how subtle aromatherapy works is, if you flood the body with loads of essential oils, your body will only heal your physicality. If you use less drops of oil, it works on your mind, body, and spirit. So subtle aromatherapy is a bit of a no-brainer. Use less essential oils, get better results, basically. So how I do all my massages and all the other kinesiology and all the other treatments that I do that use essential oils, I always use this subtle aromatherapy as the essential oil, so never more than 3 drops. By only adding a few drops to your bath water, you will be utilizing the effects of subtle aromatherapy. And if you close the door, so light your candles, get in your bath with a couple of drops in, and then close the door, that fragrance you'll actually be breathing in. However, if you want to fragrance the whole house, leave the bathroom door open and it will beautifully waft through to the rest of the house. Cautionary note, I've talked about this in the past. There are lots of oils that are especially good for baths. Citrus oils are not those. So citrus oils, if you put those into your bath, will burn your skin. They are very caustic, so you need to know what you're doing. Lavender's a good one. Frankincense, rose geranium's a really good one as well. So no citrus oils at all in your bath. You can use them in diffusers. Those of you who've been to Heaven Sent Bliss will know, in the bathroom I always have sweet orange or May Chang burning to just freshen up that area of the house, basically.
You need to be very careful with citrus, don't you? Because it's phototoxic as well.
Yeah.
You go it in the sun, you can get a burn.
Yeah. So people forget that, you know, what citrus oils are. So sweet orange, bergamot, May Chang, lime, grapefruit, what have I missed? Lemon, lemongrass, any of those oils that belong to the citrus family. You need to make sure that, you know, you're not going outside on a sunny day, because they will be affected by sunlight.
Yeah.
Room fragrances, all essential oils readily evaporate and make ideal air fresheners. They can also be used to create different fragrances around the home and are ideal for banishing strong smells. I usually add 4 to 8 drops of May Chang to the aromatherapy diffuser in my bathroom, and it does smell scrumptious, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Alternatively, you can add 3 to 6 drops on kitchen roll, which you then place on either windowsills or radiators. So the next thing is inhalation, which is not suitable for asthmatics. It can often trigger an asthmatic response if they're going to be doing inhalation. So the way that I describe inhalation is fill a large bowl with very hot water, add 5 drops of oil, cover your head with a big towel and breathe slowly and deeply in and out until relief is felt. I recommend that you use rosemary or tea tree for this. But again, it's because asthmatics breathing is sensitive, it's not a good idea for asthmatics usually. Other uses of essential oils are compresses, foot baths, saunas, jacuzzis, log fires, room sprays, insect repellents. I make a great insect repellent. Perfumes, make all my lovely products with, as we know, Glastonbury Chalicewell Garden water. But
Oh, yes.
But the perfume is made from essential oils, aromatic candles, skin and hair care. So here is a list of 10 popular essential oils and the health benefits that are associated with them. This is really our physical health. I've just chosen 10 because otherwise I could just talk all night about all the benefits of hundreds of different oils. So
maybe another night, Annie.
Don't get me started. So peppermint is used to boost energy and aid our digestion. Lavender is used to relieve stress. Sandalwood is used to calm the nerves and help with focusing. It's also very grounding as well. Bergamot is used to reduce stress and improve skin conditions like psoriasis and eczema. Rose is used to improve mood, reduce anxiety, and to stabilize your heart. Chamomile is used to improve your mood and for relaxation. Lang Lang is used to treat headaches, nausea, and skin conditions. Tea tree is used to fight infections and also to boost your immune system. Jasmine is used to help with depression, childbirth, and low libido. So I thought any book that you get on aromatherapy will tell you the physical and possibly the emotional benefits, but they rarely tell you the psychological benefits. So in my first book, that's what I've done. I've explained the psychological aspects of essential oils. So basil is for concentration and understanding. Benzoin for self-love and clarity. Bergamot for acceptance and honesty. Black pepper for excitement. Grapefruit for certainty and trust. Fennel for hope and peace. Frankincense for letting go. Geranium for balance and flexibility. Ginger for forbearance. Jasmine is good for feeling ecstatic and exhilarated. So we need a bucket of jasmine each tonight. So we're all very ecstatic and exhilarated.
We're always static and exhilarated.
We do it on our own without the jasmine really, but we could all have a bit of jasmine as well. So lavender is good for insights. Lemon is good for change and influence. Mandarin for childlike joy and happiness. We do that without the
we do that naturally.
We do childlike joy and happiness, don't we? Marjoram for the frequency of making order out of chaos. Patchouli for your wants and desires to be manifested. Sweet orange is good for encouraging joy and happiness. Rosemary for learning and self-will. Sandalwood is good for protection and confidence. Tea tree is cleanliness and purity. Lang Lang for truth and nerve. So those oils are just my top 10, I suppose, really, physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
So one of the books, or one of the things I'm going to suggest, is that people take a look at the Aromatherapy Lexicon.
Okay.
So for any beginners, I think this is absolutely ideal. I know it was a great benefit to me when I was first learning. So inside the lexicon is let me move backwards a bit, and you can see better. There's 3 dials, so you can dial. Let's say we want to know more about which oils would be good for arthritis. And it tells you there, chamomile, marjoram, juniper, black pepper, rosemary, ginger. And then it's got what oils are good for emotional things, and then what things are good for psychological things there. But literally, you can just turn the dial to the things that are written on the external, on the circumference, and then you can just move it to whichever one you wanted. So I found it really helpful. It's by Geoff, Lyth and Sue Charles, and the last time that one of my students bought it after the aromatherapy course, I think she paid $2.99 on eBay or something ridiculous. So it's not an expensive book at all, or rather, well, it kind of is a book. It's a lexicon. So it has been estimated that 43% of people who have stress and anxiety, this is 2023, have used some form of natural therapy, especially aromatherapy, to help relieve their symptoms. That's not a bad percentage, and that will be underreported.
Absolutely.
You know, so if it's 43% and it's underreported, then there's a lot more people using aromatherapy oils and having massages that just aren't disclosing it to anybody. Regarding aromatherapy, several studies have been very positive. Many have shown that the smell of some essential oils can work alongside allopathic medicine to treat anxiety and stress. Interestingly, using essential oils during a massage may not only help relieve stress, the effects may last for days and weeks, not only when the massage is taking place. And there's so many of my patients that say that their pain disappeared, the high blood pressure came down, or whatever else it was that they came for a massage for, but weeks later it still carried on. And what I do is I make up their individual blend and then give them a 10 ml bottle with their own unique blend on, because as we've just explained about the olfactory system, when they smell it again after they've had a full body massage, when they smell it again, their body will go, where was it the last time that I smelt this? Oh yeah, I was lying on Annie Day's couch being massaged and feeling really relaxed and at peace. So it's a good way of keeping the massage going, basically, isn't it? There are over 201 studies which all concluded that aromatherapy was very effective at treating anxiety and depression. It can also treat stress, insomnia, anxiety, tension, overwork and fatigue, insecurity, panic attacks, nervous exhaustion, menopausal problems, muscular aches and pains, rheumatism and arthritis, and is therapeutic for both MS and ME, is helpful for overcoming addictions, raises confidence and self-esteem, and is great for any skin disorders. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about how I've used this in the past. So people have arrived having been on antidepressants for way too long, and they were never told that they were addicted. And
oh, that's terrible, isn't it? The people aren't told that.
Really, same with opiates, isn't it? That people aren't told that they're highly addictive when they first go on. So when people are ready to come off the opiates, things like Oromorph, or their antidepressant, you need to come off slowly and surely. Otherwise, it puts your body into shock again. So one of the things I've done in the past is to massage the person, but again, give them an essential oil. And when they feel that they're going to start drinking again, or they're going to start, I don't know, smoking again, whatever it is, that they smell their essential oil. And often that's enough to just remind them why they wanted to give it up as well. So it's been really good for that. And there was a lady, and she said that she'd had a problem with drink most of her life, and that I was the last resort. And I said, oh, I'm often the last resort, but I'm the best resort as well. So that's all good. I don't mind being the last resort as long as you get the results that you want. And she said she couldn't believe it because she'd gone out after 6 months of not drinking and been surrounded by all her friends. And she'd got, I don't know, a fever-tree tonic or something like that. So it would look like she'd got a drink. And whenever they were trying to persuade her to drink, she'd just have a sniff of her essential oil. And that was enough to help her to go, no, I'm okay, thank you, I've got a drink already. So I do know that it really does work for things like coming off painkillers, opiates, but also antidepressants as well. And then menopausal problems. If you go to the NHS, which most of us don't do that anyway, we don't see allopathic medicine, they will give you HRT. You don't want to be taking HRT. It's carcinogenic. And if I tell you that it's made out of female horse pee, do you really want to be putting the female horse pee inside your beautiful body? Probably not, really. So,
is it really?
Oh, it is. I find out about everything to put people off. Just telling women that it's got female horse pee, and they'll go, oh God, no, I didn't know it had that in. That's sometimes enough to stop them from using it again. So it is very therapeutic for menopausal symptoms. And also, we've talked about this some time ago, but toothpaste, shampoos, most commercially produced shampoos and toothpaste and conditioners have sodium lauryl sulfate in. Sodium lauryl sulfate is very, very cheap, which is why it's used as the frothing agent in your toothpaste and your shower gel, your bubble bath, your shampoo. What it does is it throws the bodies of men and women into hormonal chaos. It's why we have so many people going for IVF that can't conceive, because the sodium lauryl sulfate, or sometimes it's abbreviated to SLS, is an estrogenic mimicker. So it mimics estrogen. So the woman's body doesn't know what is endogenous, you know, what she's producing herself, and what is the SLS. So her body cannot manage those hormones, basically. Men, it causes poor sperm motility and grows some breasts for you, which is not what you want.
Well, is that what did it?
Well, might be. So men are supposed to have a tiny bit of estrogen.
I feel like it.
I love it, Jack. I love it. So
hang on.
I'll just finish what I wanted to say. So the sodium lauryl sulfate also has an adverse effect on men. So they're getting moobs, I think they're called, which is also caused by drinking non-organic milk. But most of it, the damage is done by the toothpaste they're having every day, maybe twice a day, and their shampoo and body wash. So what it does to men is it causes poor sperm motility. So the poor little sperm, it buggers up their directional sense. So instead of swimming towards the ovum, it swims the other way. What it also does is it weakens the tail, because men aren't supposed to have a lot of estrogen in their body. So it weakens the tail, of the sperm so they don't swim the right way. So although it's not necessary, well, most shampoos have got essential oils in, so, and toothpaste has definitely got peppermint in.
What were you going to say, Chrissy?
Need a bosom for a pillow. I need a bosom for a pillow. That song.
I don't remember that now.
Annie does, don't you, Annie?
Do I?
I need a bosom
It's a brimful of Asher on the
for a
45.
pillow. It's a proper good song. It was. That's it. Yeah. You sing
I
it.
don't
You
know
sing
it.
Oh, you got to find that one. It gets in your head and you can't get rid of it.
Can you sing it, Andrew? Will you sing it for us? Come on, please. You're the
I
best.
don't know the lyric. It's a brimful of Asher on the 45. It's a brim. Everybody needs a bosom for a pillow. Everybody needs a
The
bosom.
bosom full of
Every-
pillow.
The things that get
Well,
me doing
I
on
go
this
along with
show,
that.
really.
I go along with that, absolutely.
Bring the bosoms on.
When I was a little boy, I was helping my mum put the washing away after ironing or ready for ironing, and I said, because we were making all these different piles, towels and shirts and whatever. I said, "What shall I do with these bosomers?"
Oh, was that your name for bras? How lush. How lush.
Chrissy, what toothpaste do you use?
Not that one, not them ones. Oh, I've got a posh one. I've got a posh one. I'll have to go and get it. Hang on.
Right, well, what Chrissy's gone to get that.
Yeah, so just check out that your personal care kits, your beauty products don't have sodium role sulfate in. All the other nasty is parabens, which is carcinogenic. And
Right.
you know,
Chrissy's back. What you got, Chrissy? What is it? Speak, Chrissy.
Oh, I've got On Guard toothpaste, doTERRA. They do essential oils as well.
yeah,
Everything's natural.
Yeah.
Completely natural. I can't read that. It's your glasses aren't strong enough.
yeah.
It's all natural. But I don't
It's just
doTERRA won't be putting sodium role sulfate or parabens in
know.
at all.
no,
So the
it's
best
just
toothpaste to use is Kingfisher, non-fluoridated Kingfisher, and they don't use sodium role sulfate as a frothing agent, nor do they put parabens or any rubbish in, basically. Shampoos, conditioners, there's at Neil's Yard, there's Holland and Barrett. As much as I don't like Holland and Barrett do Dr. Organics, which is all organic, doesn't have any of that rubbish in. And also what was the other one I was thinking of? Jason is the other one. Stay away from Tropic because none of their stuff is organic. None of it. Despite the fact that they keep ranting about it being vegan, it's not organic. So it doesn't matter that it's vegan. What really matters is that it's not organic. So it will be affecting us humans.
yeah. There's so much vegan crap
I'm
that's on the
sick of the
market
bullshit, honestly.
that's not organic. And
Yeah.
I keep hammering this. People don't understand. I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with going vegan. I think it's a wonderful thing, but you've got to also go. You've got to also go organic. If you're not, you're defeating the purpose.
Yeah. And as soon as the supermarkets 4 years ago started flooding the supermarkets with plant-based, and we had all these angry vegans telling everybody that they had to be vegans as well. As soon as the government tells me to do something, I run the opposite direction. So I'm very proud to say I'm omnivorous.
Well, the vegan movement has been co-opted, hasn't it? It's been taken over by the food industry to sell us all this chemical shitstorm stuff.
Well, if you look at vegan food in the supermarkets, it's got MSG in, it's got aspartame in it, it's got bulking agents, it's got chalk, it's got talc, it's got insects. Are you really sure that this is a healthy option? Because
It will kill you. It will kill you. It will kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand people not wanting to eat animals if that's the way they are, but for God's sake, you know, don't replace animal food with a chemical shitstorm. You kill
Exactly
yourself.
that. Exactly that. It's just not right, is it? So for some of my patients that are elderly, that have acute rheumatism and arthritis, what really makes a difference to them, not all the meds that they've been given by the NHS, but actually using ginger, rosemary and black pepper essential oils, and I make them up a blend with organic carrier oil and then a few drops in a 100ml bottle, and they get their partner to massage them, and it's a really lovely thing to do for each other as well. So anybody who's recovering from MS or ME, again, there are so many lovely blends that really help those conditions and help you to be pain-free, which is what we all want, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then headaches and migraines. In the 1990s, 2 studies found that adding a dab of peppermint and lavender oil mixture on your forehead and temples immediately relieved headache pain.
Okay. It's worth trying.
And I remember a few years ago, you used to be able to buy a little rollerball massage stick that had peppermint and lavender in, again for massaging on your temples and on your brow as well. Recent studies have also observed reduced headache pain after applying peppermint and lavender oil to the wrist. So I understand why, for most people, that would be the most obvious place to put it. But if you didn't, for whatever reason, you didn't want it to go in your eyes or whatever your other concerns were, you could put it on your wrist and that would still reduce your headaches. What's more, it has been suggested that applying a mixture of chamomile and sesame oil to the temples may treat migraines. This is a traditional Persian headache remedy.
Ah, okay.
I know, I found that while I was doing a bit of research. Sleep and insomnia. Smelling lavender oil has been shown to improve the sleep quality of women after childbirth, as well as patients with heart disease and chronic insomniacs, especially when they're taking magnesium. So most of my students and patients, I tell them to take good quality magnesium, 1 in the morning, 1 at night. We can't get enough magnesium from our food because our sleep quality is so poor. So by taking magnesium, that can really help to promote restful sleep, but also it's one of the best remedies for overcoming depression as well, especially with essential oils. One review examined 15 different studies on essential oils and sleep. The majority of studies showed that even just smelling the oils, mostly lavender oil, had a very positive effect on sleep habits. Reducing inflammation. It has been suggested that essential oils may help fight inflammatory conditions. They so do. Large sample size studies have shown that they have significant anti-inflammatory effects. One large study found that ingesting a combination of thyme and oregano oils helped induce the remission of colitis. So amazing benefits of an aromatherapy massage: decreased anxiety. Combining aromatherapy with massage can truly relax your senses, help to reduce anxiety and tension and pain relief. It's good, as we've already said, for headache relief, improved circulation, enhanced mental well-being, reduced pain and inflammation, heightened relaxation. It can also reduce the side effects. In fact, I don't even want to call them side effects. Side effects, the dictionary says is 1 in a million people. The effects of chemotherapy are not side
Oh
effects.
no, it kills everybody.
Exactly that. So to reduce let's delete that word out. So to reduce the effects associated with chemotherapy, cancer treatments such as chemotherapy put the body and mind under extreme stress. Many common side effects are explained and treated with common medicines by the NHS.
Yeah.
Furthermore, many cancer patients look to, I don't want to call it alternative, I want us to say this is traditional natural medicine, because
That's right. We're talking about the traditional therapies.
Exactly.
They're the alternative. They're the new boil.
Like, they're
the
only
new-
75 years old, the NHS. How many thousands of years old are we, Jack?
They're only the Johnny come latelys.
Thank you. I knew we'd be on the same
They're
page.
the alternative.
Exactly that.
They're an
Exactly
alternative. When they're an alternative, we don't want. Thank you very much, because they nearly bloody killed me a few months ago.
And you know, if I tell you what the ingredients are of chemotherapy, so there's mustard gas. Why would you put mustard gas in? Why would you put aluminium? Why would you put heavy metals? Why would you put MSG? Why would you put HIV in chemotherapy? Oh yeah, that would be to not really help anybody, but keep a customer, maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm particularly angry about this. So lots of cancer patients look to traditional natural medicine to help alleviate their pain and stress levels. Complementary therapies, again, we're not complimentary. We're the real McCoy.
Where's the real McCoy? Danny? Absolutely.
So natural medicine, including aromatherapy massage, are used to improve mental resilience, calm the mind, and to help relieve pain. And I know, latterly, I left the hospice in 2006, and I know that the oncologist would go, you go in and sort them out, because there is nothing more I can do.
We need to just say for the record, Annie, that you were working there.
Yes, I was working
you weren't in there as a patient.
No, not at all. No, I was working there as a full-time member of staff. So yes, so I do know that it really helps people. And the thing that really used to bother me the most was, you know, and I know, Jack, that cancer cannot survive in an alkaline system. So why don't you give all the patients alkaline water? Why don't you give them alkalized food? Why don't you tell them about all the lovely supplements that would be supporting them? Why don't you give them juices? Why don't you give them food which is organic and colourful? Because none of that was happening, Jack.
And stop giving them sugary foods.
Exactly, that feeds it.
Yeah. It's backwards. It's backwards. They're trying to, well, I'm not saying trying. I'm not saying it's deliberate.
They are keeping people off because they make billions of pounds out of it. Every oncologist in the UK, no exceptions, is paid either £200 for the cheapest type of chemo or £2,000. So you're honestly telling me that you can make an objective judgment about what your patient needs when you've got £2,000 running through your head, or £200? No, I'm sorry.
No, of course not. No,
you can't. So natural medicine, including aromatherapy massage, is used to improve mental resilience, calm the mind, and help relieve pain. And obviously physical touch is so important.
Yeah, very important.
It can also ease labour pains. Hypnobirthing has become a preferred labour route to traditional pain medication. Moreover, pregnant women are seeking out different ways to manage their relative pain. Massage with the right essential oils helps to stimulate the production of endorphins, which we love endorphins. These happy hormones are also a natural form of painkiller and can help to ease contraction pains. Equally, the progression of labour is largely dictated by mood, with muscles tensing up under times of stress. The calming aromatherapy released from these essential oils can ensure that the labour environment is calm and relaxing for both the mother and the baby. And I just thought that was really lovely when I was reading it. And I've got a friend who's a birth doula who tells me all about, you know, using essential oils that make a really huge difference to pain relief. And then improving digestion, according to holistic medicine experts, the same scent receptors in our brain that help to calm anxiety and depression can also signal the brain to alert them that food is being consumed. Some essential oils can be inhaled to help our brain signal that digestive juices need to be released, thereby improving the quality of our digestion. Equally, it is thought that by penetrating our skin, these oils can aid with blood circulation to further improve our digestive tract. For more information, see a qualified aromatherapist and enjoy being healed in mind, body and spirit.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Annie. And I'll say once more for the record, Annie is such a qualified a therapist, and she has a beautiful clinic in Stafford called Heaven Sent Bliss, and I will put the links to it below in the show notes.
Thank you, lovely Jack. Do you want to carry on with what you'd got, or can I show people the issue poster?
Can we come back to you in a minute, Annie?
Yeah.
I think Chrissy's got some stuff she wants to say.
I've gone shy now. I was looking into essential oils, right? And I found out some stuff that I was a bit surprised to find out, that all these oils that say pure are not necessarily pure.
No, they're not. No.
And you know, so I was a bit surprised. So Nikki has had to leave. Nikki Day has had to leave. Anyway, I'm going to read you this, okay? This is about doTERRA. If you want to know why doTERRA is, as you know, Annie, is a pure oil company, yeah? If you want to know why doTERRA is chosen not to print certified organic or eco-cert on the labels, statement from Emily Wright. Many of doTERRA's essential oils are certified organic, others are eco-cert, and some do not have any certification. The reason for this, oh, I've lost it now. That's it. Oh, I've done it. Right. The reason for this is because we source from so many developing countries. The certification requirements and availability differs from country to country. Some countries don't even have a certification offering. For example, it costs $2,500 for a grower to receive organic certification in Madagascar. This certification lasts 2 years. Most of the time, an inspector never even visits the farm to verify that they are, in fact, growing organically. The fee is what matters here. However, most of the growers in this impoverished country cannot afford the certification, although they are all growing by the same standards. Pesticides and herbicides are not used. The reason doTERRA have chosen not to print certified organic or eco-cert on our labels is because each lot has different certifications. Some of our Lang may come in with organic certification and another lot may not have the certification. These two lots meet the very same quality standards. They go through the same battery of tests and are both certified not to contain pesticides, herbicides, fillers, synthetics, and added natural compounds. There is no difference in the quality or purity. One producer simply paid a fee to be certified organic and another did not. When we say that our oils are better than organic, it is because we have the ability to see even the smallest component in each lot of oil. If there is anything contained in the essential oil that was not naturally produced by nature in the plant with nothing added, it is rejected. That's what I love about our certified pure therapeutic grade process. We work with the best analytical scientists in the world. Nothing gets past them. Emily Wright, doTERRA executive. And the other thing was all the spoils in all different things is shocking. Even essential oils, most have fragrance in them. The only way to guarantee is to track them back to source to see what is actually in the bottle. An external company in America tested, this is very interesting, an external company in America tested 50 essential oil companies and only 3 came out with consistently pure oils. doTERRA was one and 2 boutique companies. One of the boutique companies is no longer available. These essential oil companies were online and high street brands, so UK ones too.
Chrissy, can you just say again which brands were tested to be good? Because you froze for a second then.
Okay, an external company in America tested 50 essential oil companies and only 3 came out with consistently pure oils. doTERRA and 2 boutique companies and one and so 50 essential oil companies and only 3 came out consistently pure oils. doTERRA and 2 boutique companies, but one of the boutique companies is no longer available. These essential oil companies were online and high street brands, so UK ones too. I also say to people, if you are selling these unpure products to customers, then is that really fair to those people? I see massage therapists using cheap oils and saying, oh, I don't want to spend on doTERRA. It's likely only an extra 50p on a massage when they are charging, say, £50 for the treatment. Irresponsible is the way I look at it. Once people know they need to step up and make the change for their customers, they should do that with education, end of quote. And what it is with the doTERRA, they do a source that you can source where it's been sourced from.
Yeah, I know they're very good quality, but I have to say, I would dispute that Neal's Yard has won the award for best, most ethical, most pure beauty products and essential oils in every single year, including during COVID. So I'm going to say that as good as doTERRA is, there are some things that I don't like about the way it's pyramid selling and all the rest of this stuff, but that doesn't detract from the quality. But I still think that Neal's Yard essential oils that are organic are absolutely the best possible that I can get.
Yeah. Well, we're not here to promote any particular brand. We're just talking about some.
doTERRA that
we're just talking about some of the brands that are good, and Neal's Yard is one of the brands that are good, and doTERRA is another of the brands that are good. And if anyone's got any other examples, by all means mention them.
You can ingest the doTERRA. You can ingest some of those.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know whether you, because when I was on an essential oil site, they said you must never ingest any oils ever, but you can actually. But
it's all right for you to have peppermint essential oil in your toothpaste, and it's all right for you to have sweet orange and lavender and all sorts of other oils in your shampoo. Hang on a minute. You can either say it one way or the other. Terry's chocolate orange, for example, has, just for you, is flavoured with sweet orange essential oil.
Yes. There is some that, like, I can put into the doTERRA, I can put peppermint or wild orange in my ice cream, or but you have to be careful. You have to get a toothpick, a wooden toothpick, dip that in the oil and swizz it around. You don't just pour loads of drops in. But and there's some for cooking, cilantro and coriander or something like that. There's some that you can put in cooking as well. There's quite a few.
Coriander in your carrot and coriander soup. I've been doing it for years.
Yeah. The essential oils, did you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all. I just found it really interesting. But they do put the source that you can track it down to on there.
Sure.
I'm not saying, you know. So yeah, it's all so interesting. The whole lot of it.
It is indeed.
Fascinating. Fascinating. It's a fascinating subject. It really is.
Well done, Jack, for suggesting it.
But also, it's a bit like, because they say that some of these oils, if they're traveling a lot, it's a bit like olive oil. Olive oil isn't necessarily olive oil, because on the way here, it's been doctored and things like that. So whether the same can happen with oils from other places, you know, sort of thing, you know.
Well, I said that in my introduction, didn't I, that some of the oils aren't pure. And it's important to go to a reputable source, a reputable brand that you trust. Once you've picked a brand and you're happy with it, then stick with it and learn, because all the oils from the different brands are slightly different, in not just in purity, but in many different ways.
Yeah.
I talked about all that in the introduction, didn't I?
You did indeed.
Well, thank you for that, Chrissy. And I will just say that anybody wants doTERRA oils, Chrissy.
They're doTERRA.
Well, whatever they're called, Chrissy provides them.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Chrissy.
In fact, I've got my case here.
How wonderful.
Yeah. So I will put a link to. I'll put a link to everything we've talked about in the show notes.
Well, there's more. I have books.
Okay, let's have some books, and they'll also go in the show notes.
So I talked about subtle aromatherapy, where you only use a couple of drops, not loads, and then it works on mind, body, and spirit. So it's subtle aromatherapy, and it's by Patricia Davis. And then these are all battered and falling to pieces because I've used them so often. So the next one is Aromatherapy An A-Z, again by Patricia Davis. It's got every aspect of aromatherapy, including which essential oils to stop the snails and slugs killing you. Killing your veg off as well. So that's a really good one. The next one is called The Complete Book of Incense, Oils and Brews by a lovely man called Scott Cunningham.
Oh, he's a brilliant guy.
He is, isn't he?
He writes on a lot of interesting subjects.
Oh, he really does. And then I love this one, The Fragrant Mind by Valerie Ann Worwood. It's aromatherapy for personality, mind, moods and emotions.
Wow.
Beautiful, really lovely. Valerie Ann Worwood, and I think it was published in the 1970s, but it's just absolutely outstanding. So I'd recommend that. And then The Complete Essentials Guide, a guide to the use of oils in aromatherapy and herbalism by a lady called Julia Lawless.
Okay.
And last but not least, this is one of my favorite books.
What's that?
So it's called Exotic Massage for Lovers, Sensual for Massage from the Ancient East.
Hey.
I know.
Have to give that one a try.
Absolutely. Pointless being a sex therapist and never telling anybody anything about sex, really, isn't it?
There you go. Annie has
Oh,
many strings to her bow.
I do. So that was by
Oh,
Timothy.
hang on.
Freke.
Yeah, Chris is holding something up. Is that one we've already mentioned? Aromatherapy and essential oils.
Yeah, the complete aromatherapy and essential oils handbook for everyday wellness by these people there.
Who's it by, Chrissy?
Them Nerys, that's the
Yeah.
front, isn't it?
Yeah,
Right. Nerys, Purchon.
Oh, I absolutely hate this bloody autocorrect on here. I won't tell you what it just made that into.
Oh
Purchon.
no.
Okay, yeah.
Have you got it? So the author of Exotic Massage for Lovers is by Timothy Freke. Unfortunate name.
Is that for a friend, Jack? Is that for a friend, Jack?
Wow, well, maybe how can I possibly say, Chrissy? Oh dear.
So would now be a good time for me to...
Hope springs eternal. Sorry, Annie, you were saying something.
Would now be a good time for me to show people the Big Issue Foundation party on Sunday.
Oh, yes,
For
please.
my
Yeah.
17th birthday party. So this is it. That's it.
For the Big Issue Foundation.
Yes, I'm having a fundraiser at Heaven Sent Bliss on Sunday, the 23rd of July, from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock, because Heaven Sent Bliss is 17 years old, and every 2 years I do a Big Issue Foundation party. So it's at my house in sunny Stafford.
I'll put the details below.
And the mini treatments that you can pay by donation is Hopi ear candles with a face massage, Indian head massage, reflexology, Egyptian Sekhem, access bars and a hand and arm massage. And the mini workshops, again, you can pay by donation, drumming, cheerleading, havening affirmations, guided meditations, tree spirit healing, and a full belly dancing class.
Did you say that was next Monday, Annie?
Sunday
Sunday
the 23rd of July, 10 till 6.
So anyone who's in Stafford on Sunday, give it a go.
Please give it a go. You'll have a lovely time, and it'll be lots of fun. And it's over the last 3 years, particularly, the Big Issue Foundation has really been hit hard.
Even if you just want to see Annie belly dancing.
Exactly. And with my cheerleader pom-poms, baby.
I tell you what, Annie is fun.
I am fun. I am. And I think the lovely Chrissy would love it. She's got a shimmy belt.
You know that? How did you know that?
Because you told me when we did Joyous Sex #1, and I said I'd put one on to show people how to move their bodies, didn't I? And you said, oh, I've got one of them. Too late. Too late, mate. You're already live on YouTube.
I've got one for Jack as well. I've got two. I've got one for Jack as well.
With my big belly. I'll definitely come if Chrissy's belly dancing.
Oh, there you go.
The 101 buzz. Oh, it's a D&G buzz now on a Sunday. He leaves about 5 o'clock or something like that. The D&G, the buzz that took over the 101 on Sundays leaves about 5 or something like that, Stafford.
Right.
But
Anyway, I put the details of all of that below in
Thank
the
you
show
so
notes.
much, Jack. Thank you for suggesting essential oils. Thank you to Andrew. Thank you to Chrissy. Thank you to the lovely Jack for doing all the funky background IT stuff. And thank you to all the people who will watch this on YouTube. I hope this really helps you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Does Andrew want to say anything? Andrew hasn't spoken yet tonight.
No chance.
Well, as usual, I'm here to learn, and I know very little. I tell people that I'm nose blind.
Nose blind. What's nose
yeah.
blind, darling?
Well, this is my description of it. As an asthmatic, I was given a nasal inhaler. I think it was Beck An A-Z,
Oh,
and it helped me to breathe, but it stilled my sense of smell, so I can't smell things. So
oh.
when you're dealing with things as I do within my professional capacity, it's a real, you know, and if you've got grandchildren around who are babies, it's marvelous being nose blind. As you can imagine. As you've been talking, I've wondered whether there's any natural treatment that could reinvigorate those how do you call it?
Olfactory.
Yeah, olfactory, something like that. This olfactory, I kept hearing you say olfactory. I thought, which olfactory? I don't know the olfactory. Whether there's anything that could restore it for me. It does have its advantages, but when people hold things up to me and say, just smell that, Andrew, it's lovely, or don't like the smell of that, yeah, and I'm sorry, I don't really know. Yeah. I can't really tell, and I think we need all five senses to fully enjoy this life, and I do feel a little bit saddened that I'm missing out. And I did want you, Annie, to explain to me, I don't know if this is one of your
it is. I think it's Joyful Fairy, isn't it?
Yeah. So how do I make use of that? Is it just in the room? Just spray it in the room?
So you can spray it around your room, because it's made with Glastonbury Chalicewell Garden Waters, Neal's Yard essential oils, and then I've made the essences locally, so Willow and you. So you could either spray it round the room, or you could spray it all around your aura. So you close your eyes and go spray, 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 spray all over you, and it will just lift your mood, because I think that one.
But will it, because of my nose blindness?
It won't make any difference. It's still getting into your limbic system.
Yeah, it's getting in there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wondered, you know, usually they have subtitles for the hard of hearing, don't they? and they have that lady stood in the corner at the BBC News. What can you do for the nose blind?
I mean, there is actually a thing called sense blindness, isn't there? Scent blindness. That's recognised in the aromatherapy world.
Because I complained to the doctor. I said, you've destroyed one of my senses by the chemicals that you told me to put up my nose. And they said, well, the answer was, we would rather that you were alive and not smelling things than being dead, which I thought, yeah, you've got a point.
Were you told that before so you could make the decision?
No, I don't think they knew at the time. That's why they don't use nasal inhalers now. They use mouth inhalers because they found out that's what happens.
If you
and also that it might damage the
in a position
membranes.
to make an informed decision, then that's malpractice.
Well, like I say, I don't think it was malpractice because they didn't know at the time, but they know now, and they don't prescribe it anymore. Yeah,
absolutely. I'll be having a think, Andrew, about what could be helpful with that. Yeah, I'll have a think about it.
Anything can be helped. Whatever's wrong with you, I believe anything can be helped, you know, because like Annie, you helped my ears, didn't you? I didn't think my ears would ever go right with what was said at the doctors and all that lot. And you've got them perfectly right, and I didn't think after 17 years it'd be right again. So anything can be sorted out. Leave it to me and Annie.
Because I do, no, it's strange, isn't it? I have one of my best friends from late teens, early 20s. I'm still in contact with him. He married a lady who was blind, but she's not been blind, sight blind. She's not been blind from birth. So he will describe things to her and she'll know exactly what he's talking about. So I'm in a bit of a similar situation. When somebody says, oh, this rose smells lovely, I can remember the smell of the rose. I can remember the steam train smell as well, you know, but it's a memory. If I went to the event with you, Jack, I wouldn't be able to smell anything, but I'd be able to remember it. So I am kind of blessed because I do know what these things, it's not like I've never been able to smell. I remember certain smells, and I use Aramis, probably shouldn't do, probably the wrong oil to put on my face, but I use Aramis because I remember the smell and I like the smell of Aramis. Yeah.
Oh, well done. Well done.
Right, well, thank you very much for sharing that, Andrew. Thank you, Chrissy, for sharing what you shared. That's very good. I'll put the link below so people can contact you. And thank you, Annie, for all the wonderful information that you shared tonight.
And you, lovely Jack, and for sorting out all the funky magic before it goes on to YouTube as well. I'm most grateful.
So this show will be on YouTube tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you're on YouTube, please do like, share, and subscribe, because it helps us get out to more people.
Oh, and put the notification bell on, didn't you say, as well, Jack?
Oh yeah, don't forget to put the notification bell on so you get notified of each new show. We do one nearly every week, usually on a Monday.
Yeah.
We're doing it on a Tuesday today for personal reasons, but it's normally done on a Monday.
Yeah.
So thank you all very much for coming.
Namaste.
Namaste.